So for our handwriting lesson today, we are going to be looking at the zigzag family. And the two letters that we've got in the zigzag family are a V or V and a W or W. And these two letters are placed together as a pair. So before we start practicing those letters, we're just going to do a warm-up. So for our warm-up today, we are going to practice doing some zigzags. So I'm going to start in between the top solid line and the bottom solid line, and I'm going to go down to the bottom solid line, back up to in between the two lines, then back down to the bottom solid line, back up to in between the two lines, back down to the bottom solid line, and I'm just going to repeat that a few times. So I'd like you to have a go at that now. Then once you've finished, we'll have another practice at doing that. So starting again in between your top solid line and your bottom solid line, and then you're going to go down to your bottom solid line, back up to the middle, back down, just like that. Have a go at that now. Okay, so now we're going to move on and we're going to start by looking at the V or V. And the zigzag family are letters with sharp points. So the V has got a sharp point, which we are going to show when we practice our handwriting today. So to start my V, I'm going to start in between the top solid line and the bottom solid line. And I'm just going to do a diagonal line that goes down and touches the bottom solid line. So I start in between the two lines, down to the bottom solid line. I'd like you to practice that 4 times for me, please. Okay, so now we are going to do our diagonal downward stroke again, and then we're going to bring it back up. So I'm going to start in between the top solid line and the bottom solid line. I'm going to go down to the bottom solid line with that diagonal stroke, and then back up, just like that. I'm going to do that again. Down to the bottom solid line, back up in between the top solid and the bottom solid line, and then once more. Can you practice that 3 times for me, please? And then finally we're going to complete our V or V. So once again we start in the middle, in between the top solid line and the bottom solid line. I'm going to do my diagonal downward stroke to the bottom solid line, back up, and this time I'm going to add my joining line just at the end there. So I'll just show you that again. So that diagonal downward stroke to the bottom solid line, back up, and then your joining line. Once more. I'd like you to have a go at that 3 times, please. Then once you've done that, I'd like you to put a dot under your best one, and I'd like you to repeat that and try and make it even better. So now we're going to move on and we're going to practice a W or W. So once again, we start in exactly the same place. So in between the top solid and the bottom solid line. And I'm just going to start with that diagonal downward stroke, just like we did previously. I'd like you to have a go at that, please, 3 times. And then once again, just like we did previously, we're going to start in between the top solid and the bottom solid line. We're going to go down to the bottom solid line and then back up to in between the top solid and the bottom solid line. I'd like you to practice that 3 times, please. And we're always making sure that we've got that sharp point touching that bottom solid line. So next we're going to start in between the 2 solid lines, that diagonal downward stroke, back up up to the middle, and then we're going to go back down to that bottom solid line, making sure I've got a nice sharp point there. I'll show you that again. So start in between the top solid and the bottom solid line, down, back up, and then back down again. And then one more time, so we've practiced this 3 times, like that. So next we're going to start again, in between the top solid and the bottom solid line. We're going to go down, back up, down, and then finally back up to the middle, in between the top solid and the bottom solid line. And as you can see, I've got my sharp points here, so I'll just show you that one more time. So I'd like you to practice that 3 times for me, please. And then finally, we're going to add our joining line. So I'm going to start in between the top solid and the bottom solid line. I'm going to go down, back up, and add my joining line on, like that. Again, so down, back up, and my joining line. I'd like you to practice that 3 times for me, please. Then finally, I'd like you to put a dot under your best one, and then we're going to repeat that and see if we can make it even better. So in our lesson today, we have been learning to practice the letters that are in the zigzag family.